Uh, Another beautiful, blessed day that we're here on this journey of ours. And mine is to, part of my journey is to make things beautiful. It's my goal always. And helping showcase athletes and helping to give them more exposure. Today, another very special guest will be joining us, and it's all that we can do uh, to welcome her and joining us again. This is her second time coming on to Prep News. Uh, please help me, join me in welcoming Courtney Grayson, East Ascension Spartans volleyball, and Red Storm of Baton Rouge volleyball. Welcome, Courtney. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm awesome, superb, superb. Uh, Welcome back, man. Welcome back. It's been almost a year since you were here. A lot has happened. We're going to talk about a few of those things. Let's start off though on the academic realm. First year of high school academics. What was that like for you?
It was pretty good, academic wise. It's kind of hard to balance academics and sports, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy.
What was the toughest part of it for you?
The toughest part was managing my time wisely. Like just knowing what I have to do for school and just figuring out a good like schedule for me to make sure I'm prepared for the classroom, but prepared for the court as well.
How did you make out in managing your academic side of what high school is, and what's your GPA right now currently?
For this quarter or this semester,
Um, Whatever you're given.
overall through both semesters, it's around a 3.7, but from this current semester, it's a 4.0.
Okay, that's outstanding. What was your drive and passion in this last 9 weeks that helped you get to a 4.0?
Well, I just wanted to have like a strong freshman year and really like set the tone for the rest of my high school year. So I was just really driven by that to do good this year. So everything is just more natural in these upcoming years.
When you look at the process of what it took for you to maintain a high GPA, what can you do better to increase it? What's your next step in the academic journey? Have you thought about taking AP classes or doing dual enrollment? 'Cause
Yes, I've thought about doing dual enrollment just because it's like it could help me more towards college rather than taking an AP class.
when you think about getting into dual enrollment, how will that change with your daily schedule and the process of still maintaining a high level of excellence?
Well, it will change a lot because it's going to be obviously a more harder class, and I'm going to have to take more time focusing on that class. So a lot of things are going to change.
Where you at on making that decision for yourself, and whether that's something that you would actually do for next year?
Well, I'm pretty confident that I could make that happen by next year.
Last year we talked. You guys had just completed winning nationals. A lot has happened then since then athletically. How would you what overall grade would you give yourself in the growth process from 10, 11 months ago?
I think that I give myself around like a B to an A. I think I have really improved from last season to this season.
What's the biggest improvement have you seen in yourself?
I think my biggest improvement would either be either defense or hitting.
Explain that to us a little bit, please.
I think my passes have gotten way better, and I think my form has also gotten better. And with hitting, uh, is I see more open spots on the court now than I did last season.
In preparation of skill development, IQ development, what's been your goal in getting better in those aspects of the game?
My goal in getting better in those aspects, I've just tried to really focus on getting better with those things for future events, like winning a higher level of nationals or winning the playoffs, making it further with that, and eventually achieving a scholarship.
Uh, can we talk about both parts of your journey, um, high school and club?
Club has.
Wait 1 minute. Wait 1 minute. I asked, can we talk about it?
Oh yes.
Uh, so when you think about what your high school season was like, uh, for us and tell us, what your thoughts were from maybe the jamboree, um, playing in all the tournaments you guys played in, and then going into a really tough district with a lot of competitive girls throughout your high school season.
Well, at the beginning of the season, it was kind of nerve wracking for me, considering that I was a freshman playing on varsity and it's a lot more fast paced. And throughout the season, it has gotten better, but the stress and those nerves has still been there. And going into district, that's big. So those that stress and those nerves came back. So it was kind of hard.
Hmm. When At what point did you see yourself making the adjustment into the speed of the game within the season? At what point did you know that you were catching on to what your coaches were asking of you?
I think that um, almost before like the in between the middle of the season, I started catching on more. I think their corrections, I started applying them more during games, and it just became easier, and it didn't feel as fast paced.
Being a young kid, uh, playing with 16, 17, 18-year olds, how instrumental was it in your teammates helping you see the game at a slower pace and trying to help you acclimate to being better on the court?
My teammates, my older teammates, they helped me a lot trying to slow the game down and make things easier for myself. So I'd make less mistakes and I could just contribute more to the team.
in building IQ, was there a lot of things you did outside of the game and outside of practice to help you become smarter in knowing the different nuances? And that means the little things that make the game easier to play for, for each individual. What'd you learn about that and to help you get better?
Well, to help me get better, I'd watch like college teams play and how they maneuver and how like everything just happens with them. And obviously they're a lot faster paced. So just watching them could help slow down my game.
Right, right. You see yourself at this point from the end of club to now you're in the middle of your high school season. What was the thing that most impressed you about yourself, um, in it from an understanding of the game, not from this physical playing of the game, but just saying, okay, I understand that I'm watching this, I'm watching the play within the game, and I'm playing it in my mind. What little things that help you get better?
Well, I understood the game a lot more after my club season was over with. Like there was things I didn't know during that time, but during my high school season, a lot of things made more sense, and I my IQ level was raised a lot, and replaying those moments during games in my mind, it's easier for me to point out a mistake or something that I need to work on.
What do you think at this point of the season, um, of your leadership skills and willingness to be a leader at such a young age?
I think that being around my older teammates, it helped me gain more of a voice and take on a leadership role. And I just had to not worry about what my teammates would think or say and just lead.
In district, you guys play in the same district as one of the most fiercest players in high school volleyball in Louisiana, Kendall Davis. Both of you guys played middle. What was that like competing against someone with so much experience during district play?
It was fun to play against her school during district. It was nice seeing somebody who plays the same position as me play it so well, and just playing against her or just watching her play, it just helps me and it motivates me to become better.
You guys make the playoffs, but you don't get to play in that game due to illness. You guys don't win. Um, how did that affect you mentally?
Mentally, it kind of tore me down because I just like kept beating myself up over the fact that I thought if I wasn't ill, could I have been a factor in that game to lead us to the next round?
You're back at club season again. The start of your second year, you increase. You started out on the regional team, I think it was
Elite.
elite team. Sorry, and now you're playing on the highest level in your age group with your club. How much, um, or were there any fears about playing high level volleyball and you're just 1 year into competitive volleyball? How did you accept that challenge mentally?
Um, it was kind of hard for because I am now being held to a higher expectation being on a national team rather than being on a elite team. So I was kind of fearful that I didn't want to mess up or like I didn't want to look like I didn't know what I was doing compared to the other girls who have played on the national team for many previous years.
Right. uh, you don't have much experience as most girls in the same position far as age goes, but you seem to have caught up with them maybe in skill level, IQ. How'd you gain such a competitive nature so fast?
Well, just starting to play against more competitive teams really made me a more competitive person. And it's just my love for volleyball. It's just I don't like to lose. So it just made me want to compete more.
How do you think you've competed during this club season?
I think I've competed in this club season by um, when we're like down a lot. I think I take on like a leadership role, and I just do what I need to be doing while motivating my teammates to do their part as well.
When you think about when you think about the process of playing in Atlanta, playing in Tampa, and all the places you've gotten to travel this spring season, what was your favorite event?
My favorite event was probably the first time we went to Atlanta.
What made that your favorite?
Well, we won the championship there, and not only did we win, but the first day we lost to a team, and the next day in the championship game we beat that team. So it felt good.
When you when you look at competing at a high level, again, I think a lot of truth there. Atlanta, Tampa, two biggest events for you guys so far this season. You played against a lot of really good middles. Uh, if you can, how would you rate to the elite girls from other teams, and how they have more experience than you, and you competing against them? How do you see yourself, or where do you see yourself at as a middle?
I think as a middle compared to other girls I've played against with more experience, I think I'm like right there with them because, like you said, my skill level is there. It's I don't have like enough experience, but my skill level has definitely caught up to them. So I think to rate myself, I'd probably be like an 8 or a 9.
How do you continue to get better, uh, from an experience point of view today? Like, what are you doing to be better right now that's going to help you in the future?
What I do better is I rewatch film from previous games, especially like big games, so I know like did I buckle under pressure or what mistakes did I do that I could fix or just like little things that could either cause us to win or cause us to lose.
Okay. Have you buckled in any games?
A few.
Okay. That says a lot about character and integrity when you can be really honest with yourself in this process. Uh, you're almost back to school again. You guys have, I think, two events left. Uh, what's your goal in these two events?
My goal ultimately is to win a championship, but if we don't end up winning a championship, I want us to be able to say that we came close, knowing that we gave 110% for each game and knowing that we just put our best foot forward.
When you think about again, competing is the greatest thing you do as an athlete. Uh, how do you help your teammates to compete at a high level to get to the goals that you set for being one of the leaders on your club team?
So I try to motivate my teammates when we're in a situation that could lead to a championship or in the championship. I try to motivate them, and I try to keep our energy really high so that way if one of us makes a mistake, we don't all get down and then, we don't have a chance of winning. I try to keep our energy high, and I make sure that the love is there and that they know that we're in this together and we can make it.
When you look at coaching, um, what have you learned most from your coaches?
From my coaches, I've learned that it's like I've learned to be a better teammate. I've learned to be a better player individually. Um, I've learned from my coaches to have more self confidence and not cockiness.
Man, seems like a lot of growth and maturity. Um, let's talk a little bit about some of your favorite players. Who's your favorite player right now?
Madison Skinner,
Where's she play?
University of Texas.
Why is she your favorite?
She's my favorite player because she has very high energy and she plays all around. And her, just watching her and the way she plays and her skill level, it motivates me to be better. And when I watch her, just like I can feel her energy.
Who's next?
Logan Eggleston.
What have you learned from Logan?
From Logan, I learned that it's great to be a leader and it's great to have confidence. And as long as you believe in yourself, everything's gonna be good.
You spoke on earlier about being able to see more hitting spaces on the court. How have you gotten better at finding the open spaces on the court?
For me, being able to see more open space on the court is really about me jumping higher and contacting the ball quickly. So I could like find any open space on the court that an opposing player won't be able to get to.
Okay. What's your vertical height and jump?
24 inches,
24 inches with a 6'2" frame. What's your vertical reach?
10'6".
How do you expand on that?
Um, I think I just have to keep working. Um, just keep doing the things that can help me increase with my vertical jump and just keep working.
Keep working. I love it. I love it. Hey man, great, great job in loving the game. Great job in understanding what your personal goals are versus your team goals. And I think they intertwine. The ultimate goal is to win. Um, you guys did that at a pretty good rate, I think, in your school season. You guys have won at a high rate this year on your national team in your club season. And so, how do you what will you look at in your second year of high school volleyball? What would be considered a win and what would be considered a failure if you can see that far ahead?
For me, for my high school season, what would be considered a win is knowing that I gave my best effort and knowing that my team, we played with love and our energy was high. Whether we did come out with the win or not, as long as we know that we gave it our all and we tried. And what would be considered a fail for me is playing with bad energy or not giving our best and just having bad attitudes when we get down.
Man, I think if I saw you, just like if I was in your presence right now, I'd just give you a really big hug because that's the difference between winning and losing. Winners, they figure out a way to not do the bad things. Losers always find excuses on why they didn't win instead of finding a way to win. Um, I look forward to seeing your continued growth. Keep listening to your coaches, keep trusting your teammates, keep fighting for what you believe is right in your heart, and of course, keep being great in the classroom. All those things are going to help you get to the level of perfection that you're looking for. So, hey, any shout outs, man? Who you want to shout out?
I want to shout out Off the Bench Sports,
Oh, I thank you. I thank you. That's nice of you. Anyone else?
my mother, my father, my nephew,
Who's your nephew?
Kylan J. Grayson.
He's a Grayson too. Oh, wonderful. I'm no, just kidding. Just kidding. Hey, thank you, man. And uh, probably should give your mother a really big hug for being as supportive as she's been. Support is great. It helps you to be more confident as well. And thank you for joining Prep News again.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime, you're welcome to come back anytime. Bring some friends with you. Uh, we'll just chop it up, man. Hey, you guys, another great edition of Prep News. Thank you. Remember, get off the bench, get into the game.